it's your girl Adeola. My people, it's been an interesting week in Nigeria, watching Nigerians beat each other online because of Buhari's 100 days in office. The trouble started when Mr. President's spokesman, Malam Garba Shehu, said that Buhari never promised anything for the first 100 days in office. He said that as a matter of fact, those campaign documents that listed what he would do in the first 100 days in office were not approved by him nor seen by Mr. President. That was how the fight started though. Listen to this. 100 days in office. How did this lazy bone become president? Snap. That is God. Less than 100 days into office, dishonesty has become the face of President Buhari's APC government. Shame, shame. Ooh, snap, Nigerians. Hey! President Buhari dumps 100 days promise, says I did not authorize 100 days document. Ooh, snap. Wait a minute, but I mean, other people are saying that how did those documents get on APC's website while Buhari was campaigning for elections if he did not know about it? Some even posted a video of Buhari at Chatham House before the elections where he was saying that he doesn't want to engage in 100 days fraud, so he won't be making bogus promises.
To temper high expectation with some reasonableness on the part of those who are expecting miracles to happen. But this goes to our first 100 days. Some of it is fraudulent. And don't want to participate in any fraud. So
anyway, while the fight was going on online, you guys know that me, I'm very gentle. I like to mind my own business. I did not even get in the fight at all. But today, I said let me mediate between both sides. I personally don't like how the presidency disassociated itself from those documents now. Obviously, they saw them before the elections. I mean, it was on their website for God's sake. Why didn't they disassociate themselves from those documents at that time? Instead of saying that we never promised to do so and so in 100 days, just say so far we're doing our best, okay? And we still have a long way to go. Even those documents shouldn't have been an issue. Now, for those that are fighting each other, instead of saying, oh, he's yet to do so, it's a list of 100 things, by the way, that they are claiming that he said he would do in 100 days. And I'm saying that, why don't you just look at what he's done so far? I wasn't expecting him to achieve 100 things in 100 days. I wasn't even aware of this document. And I'm sure that many people that voted for Buhari didn't vote because they saw 100 things that he would do in 100 days. That would be performing a magic. I'm sure majority of the people were just tired of the Jonathan administration. So I'm more interested in what he's done so far. For one, I know that he cut his salary and the VP salary by half. I know that he has ordered the fast track cleaning up of Ogoni land, and I know that he bailed out states that were not able to pay workers' salary. Of course, many things are also working mainly for the fear of Buhari. You know, like our refineries now producing 80%, 90% capacity. Although I'm hearing that one refinery has packed up. Please let me know. And I also know that petrol went down from 110 naira to 87 naira per liter. I've also heard that electricity has improved in different parts of the country. If I'm wrong, please let me know. Although I heard that this week electricity dropped by 1,400 watts. And also suddenly I know that EFCC has started working, picking up many corrupt officials, including former governors. Although I'm hearing that the EFCC chief himself has been implicated for relooting monies that were recovered from corrupt officials. Can you imagine that the Oga at the top of EFCC has been relooting the looted money? Yes. I also know that Nigeria has generated more revenues in the foreign reserve despite the price of oil worldwide has been dropping. All kinds of corruption cases are also surfacing since Buhari became president. In fact, I read that they will be probing the former petroleum minister. Yes, so our madam, how you there? My sister, I hope you are feeling better. Come back home. Apparently there is something waiting for you. Some people are saying that she embezzled $6 billion. Others are saying it is $9.3 billion. Me, I'm saying let her get well soon, my father and my God, so that she can come and defend herself. I'm sure this woman will be able to defend herself. And not only that, the man declared his asset. Him and the vice president, they declared their asset. As a matter of fact, where are the wailing wailers? You know, I was so surprised to find out that he has 30 million naira in his bank account before becoming the president. I'm like, 30 million. That's about $150,000. I know about governors and other government officials that are far richer. As it is right now, so many Nigerians feel like they are richer than Mr. President. He has 5 houses in Kaduna, Dora, Kano, and Abuja. The one in Abuja I didn't know about until now. 2 of his houses in Dora are mud houses. He has 2 undeveloped plots of land, one in Kano and the other one in Port Harcourt. As well as a farm, he has an orchard, ranch, livestock, including 270 cattle, 25 sheep, 5 horses, and a variety of birds, and a number of economic trees. That's according to the press statement by the presidency. And not only that, he has unstated number of cars. I wish they would be more specific about this number of cars. If we're declaring asset, let us say whatever it is. So be more specific about the cars. Mr. President has 1 bank account. That's the one with Union Bank. He has no foreign account, no factory, no enterprises, and no oil wells. That's impressive. Now, for someone that used to be petroleum minister, petroleum, that is where money is. So that used to be a governor, and he used to be the head of state. To only have 30 million naira in his bank account speaks to his integrity. That singular act of declaring his asset made a lot of people respect him. And for those that may be wondering why Buhari doesn't have that much money, I remember saying on this show before that he takes about 10% of his salary as a former head of state. He tells them he doesn't need the rest of it. So the vice president though, yeah, I didn't know the man got money like that. So the vice president has 94 million naira in his bank account, as well as $900,000. Shadow, that's like almost $1 million. What? I didn't know that Oga Osinbajo has that kind of money. Put up my photo with him. I didn't know I was taking photos with money. Oga Osinbajo, we must meet again by fire by force. I wasn't surprised though, because I know he's been a lawyer for a long time. I know that lawyers make a lot of money, even here in the US. And I also know that he used to be a senior advocate in Nigeria, and I know he has his own law firm. So I wasn't surprised that he's richer than Mr. Buhari. You know, I keep wondering what we would find out if President Goodluck Jonathan should declare his asset publicly. Can you guys imagine what we would find out?
America will know, and they will tell you where the money is. America will know.
No, not even Ogadio, no. Mama Patience, if we should find out about her asset. Hey! This is a great example. I hope that other African leaders would follow suit. So, I think that Buhari has done some things in the last 100 days, if you ask me. Maybe not 100 things, but some people believe that he's done more than what some people did in years. Not me, by the way. I'm talking about Nigerians. However, I don't feel like finding the Chibok girls has been a priority with this administration. What is going on? If Mr. President's daughter is the one that was kidnapped, do you think that we will still be doing any other ceremony until we find the daughter? I said the same thing when President Jonathan was in power as well. If it was his daughter, by now we would have found her. So I feel like these girls are not being taken as priority because they are children of nobody, practically. That's why. I'm really upset about that. If they can find these girls and bring them back home, do you know how much Mr. President's ratings would go up? I'm just saying, but how can they find the girls if they don't defeat Boko Haram first? So, which is why I keep saying that defeating Boko Haram has to be a priority with this administration and finding the girls. So enough of fighting each other on the internet, my people. Let's just focus on what we need to tackle together. By the way, I saw this picture and I think it says a lot. In case Ogaduna is watching, by the way, you know, do well. This is not me. This was drawn by a Nigerian, which I'm sure that he means well. Anyway, guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Still on Nigeria, I heard that former governor Godswill Akpabio, now a senator and also the Senate minority leader, was in an accident in Abuja this week. It's very sad, right? But instead of Nigerians to pray for the man like we always do, this time around, people are saying that it serves him right. I said, check! Nigerians are becoming too bold. Since when now? Apparently, the former governor ran red light. Terrible, very terrible. How could you? These big people always in hurry. Why now? Where are you going? So they said that he was traveling in a convoy. I said, is that because he's a former governor, or because he's now a senator, or because he's the Senate's minority leader? I'm just asking. So let me know if these positions come with having a convoy with you, so that I can know how to walk my way up. So you understand, before I become first lady. But whatever the case, why run red light? Even the president obeys traffic law. No, but so Oga Buhari, he stops when the light is red. He moves when it is green. How much more a former governor or senator, whatever? Now I heard that they've flown him abroad for treatment, and that shocked me. I said, oh, what happened to the hospital that he built? IBOM Specialist Hospital. Have you guys seen pictures of that hospital, which he commissioned earlier this year? Hey, beautiful building. Very sophisticated, beautiful buildings, with all kinds of equipment, all kinds of machines that I don't even know what they do. X-ray machines, the CAT scan, dental equipment, equipment complete with ambulances. So I'm telling you, they buried a lot of money at this hospital. So I was really confused. I said his own hospital cannot treat him. What about other people in Akwa Ibom when they get in accidents? Is there also a program to fly them abroad as well? I mean, I guess, you know, I guess there are some things that I will never understand. It's just that with the way the man was saying that he had completely transformed Akwa Ibom, I thought this is an opportunity to show the world that now we have an hospital that big people can go to for treatment, so they don't have to fly them abroad. And speaking of things that I would never understand, what was the rationale behind killing Biafrans in Onitsha last week? Nigerians, just because they were marching or preaching is still not an excuse to kill people. There will always be people with different ideologies, but it doesn't give us a right to kill them just because the way they think is different from the way we think. I've addressed the Biafran issue, especially the Radio Biafra, in episode 174. Of course, not everybody agreed with what I said because I blamed both the Nigerian government and Biafra Radio. But honestly, killing people is not the solution. The Nigerian government still needs to address the root and not the symptoms. You guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to Swaziland, and you know what? This baffles me because I don't understand how 65 young girls, 65, can be killed in an accident on their way to the reed dance, and the dance will continue as if nothing happened. Like, really? Swazi King. Anyway, I have issues with him. You guys know the reed dance, right? That's where girls dance half naked for the king. I didn't ask you to show any video. Don't corrupt my viewers. Get out. That's where girls dance half naked. Sure, you understand? And then every now and then he would pick one of them as a new wife, supposedly virgins, all of them virgins, dance half naked. Okay, so if I'm a virgin, why would I even want to dance half naked in front of men? Like, really? Anyway, that is their culture. So they dance half naked for the king, and then every now and then he would choose one of them as another bride. Now he has 15 wives. I'm sure that you all heard about the accident. First of all, I can't believe that this is what they used to transport 65 girls. Just imagine 65 people on this thing. Really? The driver hit the vehicle in front of him. If he wasn't speeding, I don't think that they would all have died. But the impact of the accident was so strong that it threw all those girls far and near. And by the way, I was really troubled that they cut down the number of casualties. Up till now, the police in Swaziland is insisting that only 13 people were killed. I'm like, why do we like doing this in Africa? They do the same in Nigeria. Accident would happen and they would cut down casualty. Why do we do that? Like, it doesn't solve anything. Even if it's one person, it's always too much. So they said only 13 people were killed. Meanwhile, the Swaziland Solidarity Network, a South African-based rights group, said that the death toll has risen. They said it's now 65 young girls. And I've heard people saying that accidents do happen anywhere, Adeola. That's true, but this is not how to ferry human beings. I heard that this transportation was provided by the government of Swaziland. How do you provide this type of transportation for virgins, young girls that you want to come and dance for you half naked? They also had buses and taxis for some girls as well, so it's not that this is how they carried everybody. But this is not acceptable. I expected that the government of Swaziland would actually take more precautions because this is not the first time that reed girls would be killed in accidents. 9 girls and 2 adults were killed coming from the reed dance in 2013, while about 62 others were injured. 62 others were injured because of that. Despite outcries though from all over the world saying that the reed dance should be cancelled in honor of these 65 girls, not only was it not cancelled, there was no moment of silence, like none. No reference to the dead whatsoever. I'm like, how do you rule a country like that? How do you pretend as if nothing happened? Even if it's one person that died, shouldn't she be acknowledged and honored? Not to talk about 65 people. Like, really? I can't believe that we still have rulers that would be so cruel in Africa. Just like some of the other girls said though, the government acted as if it's just ants that died. It's like their lives doesn't really mean anything. And to think of what these girls died for, you know, I can't really process this in my mind. Trying to dance half naked for the king, that's why they died? You know, that breaks my heart so much. The king is now 47, he has 15 wives already and 25 children, yes. And he's the only absolute monarchy in Africa. So when he didn't say anything, I was hoping that the queens, you know, we have 15 queens now in Swaziland. I thought they would at least say something. I mean, they're women. They were also involved in this reed dance when they were young. He picked some of them from the reed dance. I was so sure that they would at least say something and acknowledge these girls. None of the queens said anything. But you guys know I don't know much. I mean, what's my own? Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to Egypt, why is the government of Egypt being so unreasonable? Like, really? Isn't there anybody to talk to these people? Now they sentenced 3 Al Jazeera journalists to 3 years in prison. They've arrested them since last year. These people, I don't understand them. One of them was deported earlier this year. In fact, another 6 Al Jazeera journalists were tried in absentia and sentenced to 10 years in prison. Like, what a joke. They accused this journalist of aiding a terrorist organization, that is the Muslim Brotherhood, which was outlawed in Egypt after the army overthrew President Muhammadu Buhari in 2013. So the judge said that this journalist broadcast video footage that contained false news after editing it on Al Jazeera with the aim of harming the country. Yeah, so now journalists are the ones harming the country. Yeah, in case you don't understand what's going on, by the way, these journalists tried to get both sides of the story. That was their offense. So it's a crime to talk to others apart from the government. I think that it's ridiculous though that the government of Egypt would try to silence the media. Attacking the freedom of press in Egypt is the same thing that is going on in South Sudan. Last month, their president threatened to kill journalists that report against the country. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand what he was thinking when he made that statement. A whole president would threaten to kill journalists one by one. He said one by one. And 3 days after Mr. President made that statement, a journalist by the name Moy Peter Julius of the New Nation newspaper was shot dead on his way from work. Can you imagine? It wasn't as if they were trying to rob him because they didn't take his money or phone. They just shot the guy dead. And a lot of people are now linking that to the statement made by Mr. President. So whether he's responsible or not, we don't know. But the fact that he made that statement, and by the way, this would be the 7th journalist killed in South Sudan this year alone. 7. 5 journalists working with state-run media were shot dead along with government officials in January of this year in an ambush by unknown gunmen. We still don't know who killed these people. And another journalist was killed in May of this year in eastern Jonglei State, reportedly in a crossfire during a gun battle between 2 rival groups. Now it's Peter Julius that was killed. In fact, it's not only journalists that are being targeted in South Sudan, media houses are also being attacked. Just last month, August, security forces shut down 2 newspapers in 1 month and a radio station after they reportedly promoted a proposed peace agreement that the government has dismissed as a sellout. So 2 newspapers and 1 radio station was shut down because they promoted the proposed peace agreement. And in case you're wondering what I'm talking about, I'm sure you guys are aware that the South Sudan civil war began in December of 2013. That was when President Kara accused his former deputy, that is Riek Machar, of plotting a coup against him. So that led to retaliatory killings based on ethnicity. Between 2013 and now, tens of thousands of people have been killed. It makes no sense. You know, honestly, I'm really disappointed in what's going on in South Sudan because I still remember when South Sudan seceded from Sudan. You guys know Sudan, that's where Omar al-Bashir is president, the one that killed about 400,000 people in the Darfur genocide. So many people were hopeful when South Sudan seceded. Everybody was celebrating all over the world. Now they have their own civil war already. I mean, it's very sad. I'm very glad that the president had finally signed that peace agreement. Hopefully, this will end the civil war going on in South Sudan. You guys know that I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. So this week, I saw a made in Nigeria hybrid car. Yes, man. Take a look.
Here in an engineering laboratory in the University of Lagos, this group of undergraduate students see the possibility of a made in Nigeria car.
Yes, so proud of these students. They're all undergrads at the University of Lagos Engineering Department. All they used were sourced locally. The car is environmentally friendly with 0 emission. Their company is known as Dove, and I like their mission. So one of them said something.
Oh, in the next 10 years, Nigeria will be driving electric cars. Yes, let me put it that way. Nigeria will be driving electric cars made by Dove.
But why 10 years is what I don't understand. Why 10 years? Really? That will be 2025. People are already driving hybrid cars in different parts of the world. Even last week, I showed you one made by a Zimbabwean man in Harare in Zimbabwe. And the thing looks good. So there is no reason why such cannot be mass produced in Nigeria as well. Again, this is an opportunity for investors to take interest in these students. What they've started is huge. With enough resources, they will do so much better. They will produce something even much better. And it doesn't have to take 10 years. Why? If Zimbabwe is already doing it, why must it take us 10 years? And we are all so proud of them. I'm really proud of what they've done, honestly. And I hope that they will keep this up. Don't relax after this. You can do even better ones.
Just came up with this initiative to challenge ourselves, because there are so many youths out there that belittle themselves, and which is not supposed to be. We believe the Dove platform is supposed to inspire the youth to do more than what they are doing now.
That's right. I hope that they challenge other people that may be watching to also try to create something. You guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. So before I leave today, I like to read some of your emails, and the first one is from Kola Ojelade, and he sent me a picture of Abeokuta North Local Government Nursery and Primary School. A few weeks ago, I talked about dilapidated schools in Nigeria, and I showed this picture, and then he wrote me that the school has been fixed, and he sent me the pictures. This is the school now. That makes me happy, and I'm glad that he made that correction. So now I want you guys to know that the school, Abeokuta North Local Government Nursery and Primary School, has been fixed. So the next is from Kingsley Meta, and he says, hi Adeola, I'm one of your biggest viewers, but the way you've been running the show this day makes me feel like you are not real as you used to be. The truth is that you take sides, whereas as a public figure you're supposed to be real. You now leave me with no choice than to say that you are unreal. The reason for this comment is the way you portrayed the Cameroonian government deporting Nigerians back to Nigeria. To be honest, I'm not happy with the fact that more than 2,000 Nigerian citizens were deported from Cameroon to Nigeria against human rights violation. Now, the bottom line is you have failed in your duty as keeping a real journalist to report the attacks that Boko Haram insurgents have been launching in Cameroon, killing more than hundreds of Cameroonians who are not even concerned with issues going on in Nigeria. I think I need to sit down to answer this. Anyway, my Cameroonian brother, thank you so much for writing. Just so you know, I did not attack Cameroon for deporting Nigerians. I actually was making fun of Nigeria, that it's gotten that bad that Cameroon is now deporting you, that it's such a shame that this is happening to Nigeria. Cameroon deported Nigerians, yo. 2,500 Nigerians. Jay, what a shame. Niger, what a shame. The giant of Africa. Cameroon is deporting you. I also remember saying in that episode that if I were a Cameroonian as well, I would deport Nigerians if they are now killing people in my country and we don't know anything about it. I feel sorry for Cameroon that Boko Haram is getting to their country. Now they are killing their people. I mean, I wouldn't be happy if I were Cameroonian myself. I'll probably do the same thing. So I don't know how you came to this conclusion that I was attacking Cameroon for deporting Nigerians. I actually was siding with Cameroon. I guess not everybody will get me on this show. Having said that, what makes my show different is that I always add my opinion. So if that's what you refer to as me taking sides, that's the way I do my show. Starting from day one, I put in my opinion, and I believe that I have talked about many things happening in Cameroon in different episodes. Once again, this is 180 episodes, so I don't know if you've seen all the episodes. There are instances that I have talked about what's happening in Cameroon, and I've also addressed Boko Haram killing people in Cameroon even before the recent episode that you referred to. So I know that I cannot please everybody, and I appreciate you watching, but in case you're looking for like straight news that is not taking any side, that is not really analyzing what's going on, they just tell you as it is, it's available on CNN, on BBC, on, I mean, it's everywhere. So, but this is what makes my show different, is because I add my own views. And I'm glad that you're watching. Hopefully you keep watching. The next email is from Apagu, and he says, hi Adeola, your show brightens my week and it truly makes me whole, especially with your karate style moves, whose punches does not reach the recipient physically, but the effect can be felt trickling down and reverberating. In some of your presentations, you shout hooks that you can imagine a community without electricity running for as much as 3 weeks. Guess what? I want to help you keep it real that to this day in Maiduguri, Borno State, northeastern Nigeria, we don't have even a blink since the coming of General Buhari. How about that for a sizzling darkness? What? since Mr. Buhari became president, you didn't have electricity in Maiduguri. Is this possible? How is this possible? Chai, there is God. Can somebody please call my people to call the people of Oga Buhari and tell him people in Maiduguri don't have electricity? How is that possible? When everybody says that their electricity is improving, the people of Maiduguri don't have electricity. There is God. This cannot be. Please, my people in Maiduguri, keep me up to date. Let me know what is happening. I need to call somebody. You don't have electricity. I need to speak with the governor of Borno, please, to remind me after this service. Thank you very much for writing. That's all the time that I have for emails today. Please keep sending your emails to adeola.keepingitreal@gmail.com. Alright, y'all, it's been real, and I'm keeping it real right up in here. Until next week, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace out.